We are at the Tata exhibit at the 2023 Auto Expo, and the showstopper here has been the Sierra. It just feels like a deja vu moment because even at the last Auto Expo, it was the Sierra that attracted the most crowd, and we see the same happen here at this Auto Expo as well, which clearly tells us that Tata is very serious about the Sierra. In fact, they've told us they are very serious about the Sierra. This vehicle will come out in 2025 as an all-electric utility or recreational vehicle, right? So quite a different styling package at the front compared to what we've seen on the Harrier, on the Safari, or even the Nexon and the Curve, right? So you have much more streamlined lighting elements. You can see that right here. It also sort of sticks out a little bit. The designers have proactively made sure that there are some elements that stick out on every vehicle, be it the Harrier facelift, be it this, be it the Curve. There's at least some variant that is sort of sticking out, creating a ridge somewhere, creating that sharp impression, and I think it looks quite nice. You'll also see that the Tata logo is now much slimmer on all these concept cars. I have a feeling that in favor of aerodynamics, the size of the logo, the thickness of the logo on the actual production cars, especially these EVs, is going to be sort of similar to that. Now this isn't a born EV in that sense. It's still using the Gen 2 platform, which means it's using a platform that was originally developed for an ICE and then electrified later. So there are going to be common elements between this and the Harrier, Safari, so that D8 architecture from Land Rover will not be carried over as is. Of course, it will be heavily modified to have the battery pack sit in there. The wheelbase is also going to be different than the Safari and the Harrier is what we are told. They are not telling us it's going to be the same or almost similar or what, but it's going to be different than these two vehicles is what we have been categorically been told. So the .EV again should tell you that this is an electric vehicle. They will not make an ICE version of it, is something that we have been told again. Let me try and give you a slightly wider look. It's just swarmed with people right now. But yes, while I said that the front end is very different than what we've seen from other Tata cars, there is that repeating theme of the daytime running lights being up top in the brow, and then the actual lighting elements sitting right below. And this one is also running on, oh no, these are 20s, these are not 19s like the Harrier EV concept that we saw. Then you also see the flush door handles right here. And then you see the two-spoke steering wheel that we also saw on the Curve, a much larger infotainment screen as well, and a new instrumentation. And you can see they've also done a heads-up display, so there'll be a proper heads-up display, not the pop-out one. It will be a proper reflective heads-up display. You see big seats on the inside, both front seats getting their own arms in between. You also see a very big center console, very clean design there. It's a double-decker arrangement, or should I say triple-decker, because there is one at the front there. There is some space over here, and then there is this panel on top. So 3 spaces that you can see. You can also see that that's going to be a big wireless charging pad right there. That logo should tell you that. So a very minimalist theme on the inside in terms of the switchgear or the controls. And then you see the seating at the back. It's got that massive headrest. Of course, that will make way for more conventional headrests, because that's also going to block your rear view visibility. But you also see the Ottoman style seating, and you know, this is obviously going to be very comfortable. They're going after comfort here. It's going to be that lounge-like seating, very comfortable seating. And because it's an electric, it's a completely flat floor, so you know, it allows a lot of room, a lot of comfort. How that translates to in the real world remains to be seen, but I really like how they have done the rear armrests and the door pads. I really like that design there, how they have designed the whole thing. You can see a small plant there to highlight that green impression, but yeah, it's quite nicely done. The boot space is going to be decent, is what I believe. The tail is pretty flat. It's got a bit of that Defender Discovery kind of a vibe to it. You can see that it's a nice vertical design, slashed at the bottom, so approach departure angle shouldn't be a problem at all. And it's a Sierra, so it will come with certain off-roading capabilities as well. So I'm guessing When I say that, they might, I'm not sure here, they are not confirming anything, they might do a dual motor setup with this. It's a second gen architecture that they have, so there will be some restrictions on what all they can do over here with this vehicle, but I hope that they are able to do a twin motor setup, a twin motor all-wheel drive with this. You know, even if the interiors are more luxury oriented, this hopefully should be able to do some bit of, I'll not say off-roading, but go off the beaten path when required, because it's the Sierra after all. And that Sierra, of course, design is highlighted in the glass house. If you remember, the previous one that they showed, the previous concept that they showed was more of a 3-door. This is a 5-door approach. The proportions look very production ready to me. The glass house, the design of the glass house, etc., looks very production ready to me because the proportions are just right. They're all absolutely right. The B-pillar, quite thick. You can also see the Sierra badging right here on top. So all these kind of elements are likely to be carried over. That will probably be a little slimmer, but it could be body colored. They'll not make a completely black B-pillar as well. I don't think they'll go with that level of floating roof effect. The rear roof spoiler, etc., that you see, the roof rails that you see, all of this seems pretty production ready. No tailpipes, of course. It's an EV, but that will be a more production friendly scuff plate at the rear. You already see the parking sensors. There are 3 parking sensors right here. I think that will be bumped up to 5 if I'm not wrong. There will be a rear parking camera as well. I'm sure they'll go with a 360-degree camera for this because they're going with a bit of that luxury vibe too. Doesn't really show it here, but I think they will do a 360-degree camera for this. The rocker panels are nice, chunky, large. So it's got some really nice design elements that also highlight that it will have that slight bit of an off-roading character to it, but the cabin clearly tells you that it's more luxury oriented. So how the final production model takes shape is going to be very interesting. What approach it finally takes is going to be very interesting, and what kind of specs it comes with is going to be very interesting. I'm guessing between 400 to 500 kilometers of range is what Tata will claim on the final production version, maybe with a 50 to 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. And yeah, this is what the Sierra is all about. This is the one that has been getting the most attention here. Let me know, what do you think about this vehicle, and what were your thoughts about it? What were your expectations from it, and did it live up to those? What do you want to see carried over to the production model? Let's discuss that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this long video and staying right to the end. Take care and drive safe.